This is the updated Coody Koala 7 luxury air tent. This is an enormous 12 by 16 inflatable tent with 2 rooms, 2 doors, 8 windows, a partially removable floor, and an opening in the ceiling for a wood-burning stove. This is made by Coody, sold by RBM Outdoors, available to you right now at a discount using the link in the comments below, and unboxed, set up, and reviewed by me in 3, 2, 1. This tent will arrive in 2 boxes from FedEx, one giant box with the tent and another smaller box with all of the accessories. Upon opening the accessories box, we first see an orange tube that holds the repair kit. This has a brush, 2 tubes of glue, and 4 patches. The accessories bag looks awesome. It's a black bag with the Coody logo on the front, 2 long handles, 2 tension straps, each with its own clip, and a long zipper along the top. As we open the bag, you can see everything inside is rolled up in a nice tight bundle with another tension strap wrapped around it to hold it together. The first thing we find inside the bundle is the hand pump. These things always look awesome. This one is black with the Coody label across the front. The action is smooth, the handle is on a swivel. Attach one end of the tube to the pump, and the other end has a variety of connectors to fit whatever you're going to inflate. Now, these manual pumps work excellent, but I highly recommend an electric pump to free up your time and your energy while you're setting up camp. You'll see the one that I use in just a minute, and I will have a link below for that specific one from Amazon. Next, we have 2 smaller bags. Each one contains a handful of stakes, and these tents always come with enough stakes for the tent, the guy lines, and the rainfly. So the next thing that we find are 4 clear plastic interchangeable PVC windows. Those are followed by an interchangeable front wall with a clear plastic PVC door. And last but not least, we have the rainfly. I love how this rainfly is also black. This rainfly has guy lines already attached right out of the bag. For now, let's get this stuff packed up and move on to the tent. Now, I love how these tents are always delivered in 2 boxes, one box inside the other for double protection. As we open this box, you can see we have a pack of instructions. You can also see that the carry bag for this tent is also black. I don't even have the thing set up yet, and I am in love with this tent. Now, this tent does weigh 120 pounds, so the easiest way to get it out is to break down the box and just roll it out. I absolutely love these storage carry bags. They look so awesome. This one is black with the Coody logo on the front. It has 2 big handles on the sides, 2 tension straps, 2 clips, and a long drawstring. When you open this thing up, you can see that it is gigantic. It is well oversized so that you can always get this tent back in the bag when you're done. The tent itself inside the bag also has its own tension strap with a clip. Release the clip and you can unroll the tent. Unrolling the tent and positioning it literally takes about 3 minutes or less. Now, looking at this tent laying flat on the ground, you can tell which is the back because it has the 2 clear windows on the top. However, in this upgraded version, you can also see that both the front and the back have an opening door. 2 of the corners have 2-part valves. On the back corner, both parts of that valve need to be closed completely, and on the front, only one part. You need the top part open so that you can inflate the tent. Now, as I spoke of earlier, I'm going to use my electric air pump to inflate this tent, take it out of the bag, hook it up, plug it into the tent, hit the button, and it literally takes under 5 minutes to inflate this tent completely. Unhook your pump, seal that valve, and you are good to go. So here it is, guys. This tent is completely inflated, and look how absolutely awesome this thing looks. This thing looks even more gorgeous in person than I thought it would, guys. So I've got it completely closed up right now because we're gonna look at every aspect of this thing inside and out. Being a black tent, it may be a little difficult to see some of this stuff, but let's go ahead up here. Already in the first, you can see that we've got the panel installed with a window on each side and one big door in the middle. Looking down this side here, we can see the gray Coody logo on top of there, which just looks absolutely awesome. You can see that there is one clear window on the back here, and there are two enormous windows on the side. Now we're going to open those up in just a minute here, but if we pan down the side here, you can see that there are guy lines already in place. You can see that there are toggles on the top of the windows. There are D-rings along the bottom for more stakes. And as we move around the back here, you're going to see the first of what is one of the updates on this tent, and this is a completely removable back panel. This is a door right here. It has a zipper all the way down. There is Velcro across the bottom from one side to the other, and there is also a zipper around the entire perimeter of this panel so that you can completely remove it. In the older Koala 7 tents, only the front piece comes off and only the front has a door. The back is permanent and only has a window. But in this new updated version, both ends can be completely removed. Moving to the other side, you can see where we have the Coody logo on the back. We have a clear window up here, and that is a permanent window. We also have the two big windows just like on the other side, as well as the D-rings, the toggles, the guy lines. The only difference on this side is that there is a Velcro stove jack for your wood stove. This actually opens up. You can see the hole right there where the stove pipe comes out. That rolls up just like that, Velcros across the top. That way it's not touching your stove pipe while it sticks out of there. And that brings us back around to the front. Now, before we start opening up windows, there's something I want to show you. I'm going to call this tent the Bat Cave, because if Batman were going to go camping, this is the tent he would use. And this is the reason why. With all these lights on in here, if we just take a peek inside, look at this. It is pitch black in here. If for any reason you need to sleep during the day while you are camping, this is the tent you want. So let's go ahead and start opening up this tent. We'll go ahead and start with the front. You'll see that first off, we have this little vent up here. Now this has a piece of Velcro on this kind of firm little piece right here. You pull that out, push the Velcro piece right up under there, it attaches, and that opens up to give you air through the tent. Now, as I pointed out a few minutes ago, we have a window on each side and a door right here. You can see that there are toggles along the top of each of these. Velcro and zippers along the sides. Unzip those, roll them up, and use the toggles to hold them up on the top. And this is how it looks with the screens open on the front. The large side windows work the same way. They have zippers on the sides, Velcro across the bottom, toggles on the top. And this is how those look opened up and from the front. And we've got the other side opened up here. You can see we're starting to let some light in. The back is the major game changer though. Like I showed you before, this has a zipper and Velcro on the bottom. Unzip this, pull the Velcro from the bottom. And this one you can either roll up or just kind of bunch up like this. There's a string behind it, a little loop right here on the outside. Pull that tight. Give it a little knot there, and that holds that open. Do that on both sides. Give it a little slip knot, and there you go. That has the screen in it right now, but that screen also opens up. So yeah, we're starting to get some light in there. We can take this a step further and open up all the screens. They all have zippers around them, and I believe every mesh screen opens up around this tent, except maybe the front two. And yes, there we go. We have the back opened up. We have that window open over there. Both windows on this side, both windows on the opposite side, and the front door. The only two windows that do not let you open the mesh are the two on the front here. But while we're talking about those, I noticed another update. Under this window down here, I see a Velcro flap. Now, if we open this, you can see that there's actually a couple of access ports here. One is a little zipper. You can open that and run like an extension cord in there. And then there are these two sleeves right here that if we step inside, you can see them right here. These will hold a tube about the size of a dryer vent, maybe a little bit bigger, but that's the kind of thing that you use if you're using like an outdoor diesel heater or maybe an air conditioner. You can set that up right out here and run your tubes right inside there. And the thing that makes that an update to this tent is that in my other Coody Koala 7, those access points are back in what would be the bedroom in the back of the tent. Now, of course, you can set this up any way you want. You can put your bedroom in the front. You can have a bed in both of the rooms. But the wood burning stove also goes in the front room. So that kind of says use the front room to chill out, maybe have a little kitchen in there, and the back room as your bedroom. So we're gonna come back to these windows a little bit later because remember, we do have the clear plastic windows to put in. We also have the clear plastic front panel that we're gonna be putting in right here. But let's come back to that later. We'll go ahead and step inside here. This is so awesome. I know that it is very dark in here right now. So in order to lighten that up, I want to first point out this black wall that you see straight ahead. That is the wall, the partition that goes between the front and the back room. And I can see by looking at this closer that this is another update to this tent. In my other Koala 7, the partition looks more like this front door right here. It has a door in the middle and 2 mesh windows on the sides, just like what you see here. The one inside this updated tent is an entire mesh wall here, but it is 2 pieces. So if we go around the back here and go in this end, you can see that this piece is a solid black wall. There's actually a zipper going down the middle and across the bottom. Correction, it's a zipper in the middle and Velcro across the bottom. Those both pull back and tie just like the back wall. And then you can see that this is a complete mesh wall between the 2 rooms. That is pretty cool right there. I like that. Before we move on, let's go back inside the back here and open up these 2 windows on the roof. These are just covered by a sheet of fabric. There's a little toggle down here. Turn that and unhook it, and that opens it right up. Now that can just hang there, or you can actually roll this up and use these toggles up here to hold it in place. And there you go. With both of those open, that lets in a ton more light. So since we have everything else open, I'm gonna go ahead and open up this screen right here. And there we go. This tent is completely open now, end to end. Well, almost. Even with everything removed, as you see right here, we can still remove 3 more pieces. Remember this back end here that is wide open, and I showed you earlier how there is a zipper around the entire perimeter? That whole panel can come off of there. Now, I'm not gonna take that off there right now. I just wanted to make sure that I told you that you could do that. And if you did take it off, the only difference really is that you don't have these curtains and the extra fabric hanging down here. It just leaves it completely wide open. The middle panel that I just showed you, we pulled up on the sides here and opened up. That entire panel can be removed as well. You can see that that has a zipper up here, and that runs around the complete perimeter of this panel. You can completely remove that. It's already wide open as it is, but like with these right here, it just kind of removes the draping, opens it up a little bit more. And the last part is this front panel here. If this is not opened up enough for you, you can remove that entire front panel. And we are going to go ahead and do that simply because we have this panel over here that I want to show you what it looks like with that in place. And let me just take a second here to tell you, I did this inside my warehouse so I could really take my time and show you everything opened up. Because let's come over here and take a look out this window. Look at that snow. That is what I want to be camping in right now. But since we're not, let's go ahead back inside here and I'll show you how it looks inside. We've got the gray floor back here. We have a black floor up here. This is a PVC bathtub floor. That basically meaning the way that it's raised all the way around the perimeter will prevent any water from the ground from seeping in here. And this floor is yet another upgrade to this tent. In my beige Koala 7, the entire floor is permanently sewn in. In the upgraded version, the gray floor is permanent, but the black floor can be removed. Now, personally, I can't think of any reason why I would want the floor removed, but if you want the floor removed, it can come out. This black floor has a zipper around the entire perimeter. You can just unzip it and take it out. And when you do that, you just have grass, dirt, tarp, I don't know, whatever you have your tent setting on when you set it up, that's what will be underneath and what will be exposed if you remove that floor. And I will also tell you right now that not every upgraded Coody Koala 7 has the removable floor. So if you like that feature, you're going to want to make sure that you send an email to RBM and ask them about the tent with the removable floor before you make your purchase. So let's go ahead and step back inside. Let's take a look at this stove jack up here. I showed you how there's a Velcro flap up here that you roll up, Velcro into place so that that you can put your stovepipe right up through here. This is a flame retardant material right here. The stovepipe for the Campgrounds M, which is the wood stove that RBM sells for this tent, it's a little bit smaller than the perimeter of this hole here. So if that's a concern to you, you can either get like a silicone sleeve from Amazon or even a pipe wrap that you wrap around the pipe. It's fire retardant as well, and that adds a little bit more girth to that so that maybe it'll be a little tighter around there, let in a little bit less cold air. The frame in these tents is a very thick, durable PVC. You fill these up once when you inflate the tent, and I personally have had these tents set up for a week at a time and have not had to add any more air at all. I've seen other people say that they've had these tents up for a month and haven't had to add any air. This may be something else my other Koala does not have either. Little mesh bags sewn in each corner. We've got one there, we've got one over on this corner, and then we've got one on each of this corner and this corner. We've also got this cord here along the length of the tent. You can hang things on that. We've got a little ring up here and a loop. You've got another loop up here, two more in the middle here, and a couple more on down to the other end. And those are what I use to hang my little camping lanterns on. That's perfect positioning for those little lanterns, and it lights up the entire inside of the tent. So as promised, I have removed this complete panel off the front of the tent. Now you can see all the way through from one end to the other. And if you saw my video recently on the Coody hub tent, this is when the upgrades on this tent really come into play. Not only is it awesome that this tent now opens at both ends, but with the Coody hub tent, you can connect up to 4 Coody Koala 7 air tents and have a gigantic mansion basically. And with the older versions of the Koala 7, you only had a door on the front. So if you had 4 tents connected to the hub, you would have no door to get in or out. But with this new upgraded version, now you have a door on both ends and basically up to 4 doors to get in and out. I cannot wait to build my mansion. But now that we have this completely wide open, there are 3 more things we need to do. The first thing we need to do is put on the plastic windows. So looking at these windows, you can see that there is a strip of thick Velcro across the top and a big zipper around the rest of the perimeter. These windows connect on the outside of this tent. If we lift this up, you can see there's our thick strip of Velcro. And then around the edge, there is a third zipper, a big zipper here. There's one for this part right here, another for the mesh screen, and then there is a big zipper here with 2 more zipper pulls, and that's how we connect the clear plastic windows. So there we have the clear plastic windows put in all 4 of the large windows around the tent. So now we're going to put the front panel on. This is clear plastic. It also has a black fabric cover. This has a zipper around most of the perimeter and Velcro along the bottom. So here's how it looks with the black panel closed on the front, and here's how it looks with the panel open and the clear plastic on the front and the sides. And when you want to open up this front here, it's the same as in the back. You pull these aside and just give them a little slip knot there, and that'll hold it open. So now we have the back closed, and the only windows in the tent are all clear plastic, as well as the front. So now your question is this tent waterproof? And there are a few answers to that. Number 1, straight out of the box, yes, this tent is waterproof. It is a waterproof fabric. I have used mine in rain, sleet, and snow, and not a drop got in. Now granted, that was not a hurricane, that was not a snowstorm. As you see this tent, it will repel water to a certain extent. That is why they send you and recommend use of the rainfly. These windows on the top are permanently sewn in. They will not let any water in. These windows that we just put in, they do have this extra little lip of plastic here covering the zipper, but that's a big zipper. So if water gets in there, it's probably going to seep through that zipper. As well, the zipper on the front here is also a big zipper, but there's very little chance any water is going to get in there. I mean, that's a 90-degree angle. You do have the stove jack to take into consideration if you're not using the rainfly. If that's open and you have your pipe sticking up and there is a little room around there, chances are you're going to get some dripping. If it's raining and you're not using your stove, close that and you'll be perfectly fine. And that brings us to to the very last thing we need to set up, and that is the rainfly. We're gonna put it on here in just a second, and I'm gonna answer a question I've been getting a lot of, because on my old Coody Koala 7, there is not a stove jack on the rainfly. There is a stove jack on the rainfly for the RBM Panda Large, but we're gonna find out if there's one on this one. All right, we got it on there, and how awesome does that look? God, I love these tents. This rainfly is heavy duty, and it is enormous. It touches the ground over here, it goes all the way over top, and touches the ground on the other side. It has the Coody logo on both sides, just like on the tent. It has guy lines installed right out of the bag, D-rings on the bottom for stakes, a drawstring to cinch it into place, and loops along the whole edge here on both sides, so that if you want to tie the sides up, you can just roll it up, and it has toggles on the bottom that you attach to these loops. Does this rainfly have a stove jack? No, it doesn't, unfortunately. But I would have to say that is the only negative thing that I have found about this entire tent. The stove jack on the tent is located right here. If you wanted to, you could get on Amazon, get a kit, and put your own stove jack right in this rainfly, which is probably what I'm gonna end up doing. You can do that for probably 30 bucks. And I love camping in the snow and the rain, but if you're using your wood stove inside and it's raining and you want to use your rainfly, you can't do it as it is out of the box. But there it is, guys, the black Coody Koala 7 inflatable luxury tent. This thing is totally awesome. I cannot wait to get it out there in the snow and do some cold weather camping. If you want to get one for yourself or any other tent or product that RBM Outdoors sells, use the link below. You can use my code to get a discount, Nathan RBM. I promise you will not regret it.